I was thinking as I was driving here today that the reality is that it was 27 years ago next week that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And of course, it's always a shock when I think about the fact that I was diagnosed at age 36. And it's always a shock to think that I'm now here 27 years later. So with that in mind, I wanted to say that it was through breast cancer that I actually got to reflexology. And not immediately. I went through the diagnosis, I went through a mastectomy, I went through a year of chemotherapy. And during that time period, I was searching for a lot of different other alternative therapies that could be useful to me, that could be helpful to me, that could help me heal. And if you can imagine back to the late 1980s, this was not a typical question to ask any doctor, and there was no internet. And I was 36 years old, and so, where am I going to get this information? So I began the search for different ways that I could not only heal myself from cancer and help me support my healing of cancer, but heal myself going forward. I really wanted to live. And it was in that search that I found a lot of different approaches to healing, and one of those happened to be reflexology. And I didn't know anything about reflexology, but I was at a point in my life where I was really open to trying new and different things. And I don't even remember how I got the referral to Barb exactly, but I do remember coming to her at that point in time. This was about 4 years after my diagnosis, 3 or 4 years. And at that point, like I said, I was searching for some different ways to support not only my ongoing healing from cancer, but really to look at my life much more holistically. And I can say now, these many years later, that I have continued with reflexology well beyond the point where it helped me through those initial years post-cancer, and has really become a part of my healing lifestyle. What I think is unique about reflexology is that, and I've said this to Barb many times, is that when I'm experiencing reflexology, I feel like I'm both having my outer body and my inner body worked on simultaneously. I feel like reflexology touches me both on the surface of my body and deeper into my body and my body tissue, parts of my body that I can't see. But when I experience reflexology, I can feel it. I can feel it on my feet. But I don't just feel it on my feet, I feel it elsewhere in my body. And over the years, I think I've become maybe more aware of that, but I certainly feel it. Barb is working with me on my feet, but I feel it elsewhere in my body. So it started with breast cancer, and it started with a quest to heal from breast cancer and to heal wholly from cancer. And it has, over time, become an integral part of what I consider important to being able to have a healthy, whole life. And I'm grateful that I've been doing it now for 20-some years, over almost 25 years with the reflexology.